I joined the Crypto Signals group and followed every single trade in an attempt to make a ton of money very easy without doing any of the work. Here's exactly what happened. Every single crypto newbie joins the space for one specific reason: to put $100 on some shitcoins, make some easy gains, and potentially buy a Lambo. However, every newbie falls flat on his face and in most cases loses all of his money. Once this happens, there are pretty much three options in front of this person. Fuck this shit. Crypto is a scam. I'm never buying anything again. Okay, so I made a mistake, but I see a lot of potential. So I'm gonna start learning about trading and fundamental analysis, and I'm gonna make money with this. I was so close to making money, so I'm gonna follow some influencers on the internet and I'm gonna find some trading group and they're gonna tell me what I'm gonna buy, because learning is too much work. I think most people fall under the third category. How do I know this? Well, for a long period of time, I was one of them. And right now in my surroundings, like my family and friends, there are plenty of people that do exactly the same. But worst of all, in the communities that I manage and where I try to teach people how to be independent traders, the most common question that I always get is, "Hey Z, what are you buying right now?" I had three main criteria for the community that I was looking for. First, it had to be from a YouTuber or a TikToker that only shows his gains and is not showing his losses. Second, it had to be a very easy access community, so a low monthly fee or maybe potentially it will be free. And third, it had to have day trades, because people don't have the attention span to wait for a few months for a good setup. They want the instant dopamine hit of being in the trades and potentially making money with it. I think I found a suitable community. It's called Crypto Traders Hub. It has quite a lot of people inside. There's a free version and also there's a VIP version of Signals. And the VIP version is actually very easily accessible. You can just subscribe to a trading platform with their link and you don't need to pay anything upfront. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm gonna open an account and I'm gonna top it up with $300 and we're gonna start trading and potentially make easy money. Let's see how this goes. So I checked this guy's track record and he's doing pretty well in the past months, and also he's a day trader and trades mostly with leverage. So this means that every single day I will have a bunch of trades to enter. However, I'm already facing the first challenge because I have to be able to enter at the exact moment that he does. The good part is that he's close to my time zone, so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to follow some trades. The bad part is that since he's trading with a lot of leverage, like 10, 20x, this means that if I miss the entry even by just a little bit, I will have completely different risk to reward. And that is also something that you need to consider because sometimes it might not make sense to enter a trade if it's too far gone and if you haven't seen the signal on time. I have already entered a few trades, so let's see how this goes. So the first day we made already $100, which is like 30% return on investment on the initial 300 that I put in. And if we keep this, if we have like $100 per day for this year, maybe the Lambo is much closer than what I was thinking. Maybe I was completely wrong about these kind of groups. I'm gonna post each trade somewhere in here so you can see the results yourself. And let's see how this goes. I'm quite excited actually. Today the portfolio is down $100, so we are back to the initial investment of 300. However, I'm joining a brand new service from this guy, which is copy trading. And basically this means that I don't have to do absolutely anything. He will enter and exit trades for me on the platform. And I think this will make my life a lot easier. I will still copy his trades in the group, but I will also subscribe to this. I'm putting a limit of $300 for him to trade with. My gut tells me this is a terrible idea. As a trader, I don't want to be doing this, but for you guys, I'm going to do it and I'm going to see how much money we can make with this one. So after the losses yesterday, we made all the money back and we're back to $400. The copy trading is working for now quite well, and it's quite normal to have ups and downs in a portfolio. It's impossible to be just up only, and you should not be expecting this from any kind of trading experience. But for now, things are doing well, and I'm still quite excited about this. We haven't lost all of our money just yet, so let's see what happens. So I got liquidated. It's the first time in my trading career ever that I get liquidated, and part of me is like very angry because yeah, I lost the money, and it's just a bad feeling of getting liquidated. But part of me feels like really good because actually I'm proving a point here that this whole thing was a terrible idea, and there are a lot of things that went wrong to lead to the liquidation. But let's start with the first trade, which was an LTC one, and it was posted in the group. So I entered the position just before I went to bed, and during the evening the position hit my stop loss. And that's all fine, this happens in trading. However, when I was scrolling through the group the next day, the guy was shilling this trade that is 20% in profit. And I went back to check where was his stop loss that he announced when he initially entered the trade. And I saw the price action, and we actually hit that stop loss. So either he moved the stop loss in the middle of the night, or he lied where he put his stop loss initially, which in both cases is just what exactly I was afraid of. Following someone blindly is a terrible idea. But this didn't liquidate my account. What happened next actually did it. So just before I went to bed, he opened up an automated trade. And it was a weird one because in the balance I had around $400, and 100 of them were on the LTC trade. So he had only $300 to invest. However, when I opened my account, there were $700 in collateral with 10x, which means like $7,000 for the open trade. And I don't know how this happened. Probably it's some bug in the system, or he was playing with higher than 10x leverage and the system decided to open this like this. I don't know, to be honest, what exactly happened, and that's another terrible thing that happens to people that have no idea what's going on in their accounts. And since this was so much higher leverage than what I had as money in my account, the price moved against us just a little bit, and it liquidated my account, so I lost all the money. The worst thing even is that just right after that, the same trade shot up, and there were actually a lot of people that made money. But also in the group, in the chat, there were a lot of people that complained about this, and this was kind of rugged away, so nobody officially talked about it. It's just one of those things that happen when you follow people blindly, and it happened to me. So let's get back to the main question. Should you be joining such kind of crypto signals group? Well, the answer is yes and no. First of all, these groups can be extremely helpful. I have personally learned from such kind of groups, and you can see how other traders think, what they see on charts. You can ask your questions because some of these communities are very helpful, and actually that's the point of a community. So you can exchange ideas, you can ask questions, and obviously increase your knowledge and your skills in the process. You can also see different styles of traders, and you can learn from each of them and basically build your own style. And at some point, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking some of the trade setups that you see in such kind of groups. It's impossible to track everything that's going on the crypto markets because they're 24/7 and there's so many new projects coming out every single day. So this means in such a community, you have more eyes on the entire market. However, there's one thing that you always need to consider. What is the trade setup? Does this apply to your risk tolerance? And keep in mind that the trade setup that you're seeing from someone else, this person has probably a totally different style of trading or risk to reward preferences. So you need to always adapt this to your style and to your tolerance for risk. So I don't think it's a great idea to follow anyone blindly just because we're all so different. If you're joining a group just to follow people blindly in there and to make sure that you're gonna be rich and you don't have to put any of the effort, I think that's not any different from gambling, and pretty much long term you're guaranteed to lose most of your money. Also, the person that you might decide to follow might not really be a great trader, so maybe he's in a lucky streak of few trades, maybe after that he doesn't really perform very well. So what are you going to do in these cases? You're going to blame the person, or you're actually going to sit down and learn from the entire experience? And also don't forget that these groups might break down at some point. Let's say the person decides to close the group and quit altogether. What are you going to be doing? If you don't have the required skills, you won't be able to make trades for yourself, and that would be just a complete waste of time in the past time that you invested in this group. So you always need to take all of these things into consideration. I cannot tell you what you should be doing right now. This was my experience. I know what I've done with myself, but always go through the process to ask yourself critical questions And obviously, don't just follow blindly, people. Make sure you have reasoning behind this and make sure you always get something from the experience. Learn how to manage risk, learn how to trade crypto in general, how to do fundamental analysis, and these will be skills that will serve you for the rest of your life. That's everything for this video, and if you have any questions, you know how to find me.